here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
All right, baby. Welcome to the Gridiron. If you give this video a thumbs up or maybe share this video, that would be absolutely freaking awesome. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live, if I put a video out, you'll be notified. It's free of charge. It's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed, thank you. And also, description box below, the top link takes you to my membership page if you want to help support my channel out. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Also, just a little ways down the description box is an additional link. It's a Facebook link. Takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants The Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I am putting stuff in that group darn near 365. We have over 9,200 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, my add. It's growing all the time. It's called the New York Giants The Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. Well, hey, I don't know if you saw the it wound up being a pretty good game. The Falcons and the Bucks. Pretty good game. Very enjoyable. Overtime. Falcons. They were down. They kicked a game tying field goal to send it in overtime, and then Cousins completed a pass, and the guy took it to the house, and they won it over. That was 36-30, I think it was. Good game, very good, very entertaining game. But it may just kind of, it's like makes you think. It's like, wow, it's Thursday night, and I was the Giants. we were not in such a good mood. But the Giants getting the nice thing about that is that it's kind of like a little bit of a mini bye. You get 10 days off. Giants don't have a plethora. We're going to go over this of injuries, but they do have a couple. They got some a couple problem childs with their injuries. But I want to go over this here first. All right. Preview Giants versus the Seahawks. A preview by the numbers. Just going over some article I saw here, and they kind of go over some numbers and all. But I'll tell you what. I mean, if you look at, and we're going to go over this here too. The Seahawks, they're almost kind of like what the Giants were like last year. Not the same caliber of talent and all, but I'm just saying as far as injuries and all. I mean, they're like, they got a lot of injuries. They will certainly be a team if they can get their players back, especially the guys on their defense. They got a lot of guys on defense. They had like almost half the guys on defense were out last week, starters. I mean, they had a lot of guys out. That was one of the reasons why they gave up their 42 points and all. But they're, without question, if they can start getting some of their defensive players back, of course, I'm just talking for the Seahawks, and if they can actually stay healthy, but you know how that works in the NFL sometimes. But I mean, they got a lot of weapons on offense. Geno Smith is doing a really good job. Quarterback, and they got 2 real nice running backs. They got the 3-headed Noah Fant, right? And he's the guy that was it last year, caught the pass down the sideline. The Giants had about 1,375 guys that just somehow could maybe knock him out of bounds. Didn't want to do that. I just let him run down the sideline for a long touchdown. I mean, Jesus. Anyway, but they got him. They got I said that Smith and Jigba, Tyler Lockett, it's getting a little long in the tooth, but still very reliable. And, of course, then you got Metcalf, the beast. The guy's just a freakish monster. I mean, if they can start getting their guys healthy and all, is it next? I think it's next Thursday. I think if I remember correctly, they were saying that's the game next Thursday, Seattle and San Fran. Now, obviously, San Fran's got their problems because McCaffrey's not there. Was it Debo? Debo's out, I think, still. So they're having some issues. But obviously, if McCaffrey can come back and if they can stay healthy, obviously, of course, the 49ers will be a force to reckon with. But the Giants, there's going to be the problem with the Giants. We're going to go over the injuries. And unfortunately, the injuries that we got on our offense and injuries we got on our defense are going to cause the Giants some trouble. But I saw this article here. It says, by the numbers, the Seahawks versus the Giants. Let's just throw some numbers at you here. Seahawks look to bounce back after their first loss of the season against the Lions. What are some stats and figures that factor into their matchup with the Giants? Well, let's see here. We got quite a few of them there. Seahawks have allowed 16 total points to the Giants over the last two matchups. And then actually, if you figure, then the Giants beat them in 2020, right? Yeah, 2020. We only scored 17 points. Yeah, so we have not been scoring points against the Seahawks. It's going to be a problem this week. Big problem. I think we won 17-12. We went to Seattle. That was Judge's first year. We pulled off. It was a huge upset. We held them to 12 points. Of course, it was in Seattle. There was nobody in the stands, so that really helped, obviously. But, we've not been scoring points against Seattle. And we're going to need to score some points this week in the land of the 12th man, without question. Let's see here. Seattle won in Lumen Field 27-13 2 years ago. Last season, Seahawks dismantled the Giants on Monday Night Football, winning 24-3. They've outscored the Giants 51-16 in the last two meetings. But I was saying, the 24-3, when we lost 24-3, I mean, you figure the one play was like a 10-point swing, basically. Right? Daniel Jones through the interception, they got run back for the touchdown. But you figure on that one particular play, if he winds up throwing an incompletion, the Giants kick a field goal there. So that was a big play right there. Huge play. It said here, Devin Witherspoon returned interception, 97 yards for a touchdown against the Giants last season, which is the second longest pick six in Seahawks franchise history. Witherspoon tortured the Giants with that interception along with 7 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 quarterback hits. I think Seattle had like 10 or 11 sacks. I mean, unbelievable. So far, I think the Giants have given up 9 sacks so far this season in 4 games. So we've given up less sacks in 4 games this season than we did in 1 game last year against the Seahawks. I mean, it was the 2 big plays, right? The Giants lost 24-3. Well, Daniel Jones throws an incomplete. I don't even know what down that was. I don't know if it was first, second, or third down. I don't know. But, I mean, if somehow we throw it, if he throws a touchdown pass on that one, all right, or if we throw a touchdown pass, now we got 10 points. You take 7 away from Seattle, and now we have 10. Instead of 24, they got 17. Then there's that Noah Fant one, ran down the sideline for a touchdown. You take that one away, of course you can. But you know what I'm saying? So, anyway. Let's see. NFC title matchups, NFC titles between these two franchises since the year 2000. These are 2 of the more storied NFC franchises of the last 2 decades. Certainly, they are currently on different trajectories. However, both of these teams have a proud history over the past 24 years, including 3 Super Bowl titles combined. And of course, Seattle should have had another Super Bowl victory, but I guess I don't know if it was Carroll the one called the stupid play to pass the ball down at the goal line against New England instead of running the ball in. What an idiot! New York ranks dead last in the NFL with 3.4 yards per rush. Our running offense is atrocious, absolutely atrocious. The Giants were held to a measly 26 yards against the Cowboys last Thursday night. They struggled to run the ball, even with a banged-up defensive line. The Seahawks need to control their lackluster run game. That's one of the things that the Seahawks do have some guys like Leo the Lion did not play against the Lions. Right? They had quite a few guys that were banged up. That's one of the huge reasons why the Lions were just able to kind of walk up and down the field against the Seahawks. 40. The combined quarterback pressures for the Giants' defensive linemen, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau. New York's strength is their defensive line. The Seahawks will have their hands full. Right tackle Stone Forsythe had an abysmal game against the Lions, and his task gets no easier against the front from New York. Christian Haynes began taking the majority of snaps at right guard for the Seahawks. Perhaps he can fare better than Anthony Bradford. So, they got some question marks on the offensive line. So it's really going to be huge for the Giants, their front to get some pressure. Huge. Especially on Geno. Keep him in the pocket and get some pressure on him. And if they double team Sexy like the Cowboys did 80% of the time on the dropbacks, 20 out of the 25 dropbacks, Sexy got doubled. I don't blame the Cowboys, but that should free up somebody else. When you got pick 5 in the draft and you're paying another guy almost $30 million a year, you should be getting some sacks, some hits, some hurries, some pressures from those guys. Right? Then I got that here in number 4. The Giants defense has only allowed 4 red zone touchdowns in 4 games. That is the third lowest in the NFL, which is a Shane Bowen trait of his defense. Good red zone defense. The Seahawks offense cannot afford to settle for field goals in a game where they are favored at home. They must cash in and keep New York at arm's length. 75.4 is the passer rating for Daniel Jones since the beginning of 2023. Among 56 quarterbacks with at least 100 pass attempts in that time, that ranks 46th. So Danny Boy's not been hasn't had a banner of success, shall we say. The Seahawks need to fluster Jones. The pass rush and the coverage schemes should make life miserable for the Duke product. He is prone to critical mistakes, and this defense is capable of forcing Jones into those situations, as we saw last year. And they got 3-8 is the number here. The Giants are 3-8 in road games since the beginning of 2023. The Seahawks have been playing well at home so far this season. The team and the fans will need to bring it once more to make the Giants uncomfortable. The fan noise mixed with the aggressive Seahawks defense should make life difficult for Brian Dable's squad. Oh, all right. Then we got, let's see, we look here. Yes, it's Geno. I mean, Geno's been completing 72.3% of his passes. He has 1,180. He's averaging almost 300 yards a game passing. The thing is, he only has 4 touchdown passes, and he has 4 interceptions too, as well. But, 72% completion. He's completing almost 3 out of every 4 passes. And with a young, banged-up Giants secondary, he could be feasting on the Giants defense this weekend. Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker are 2 very good, capable running backs. Walker, you got to defend like every sideline to sideline. The guy is a heck of a running back. He's averaging 5.7 yards a carry. Geno Smith will run when needed. They're averaging about 100 yards a game, 106 yards a game they're averaging rushing. But, they're averaging, does it say here? No, it just says 11.23. Doesn't have it. yards per game. Oh, okay. 200. Well, after you take the sacks away, they're averaging 281 yards a game passing. So between rushing and passing, after you take the sacks away, they're averaging almost 400 yards a game on offense. Actually, they're averaging over 400 yards a game on offense. But of course, you got to take the sacks out of there. But it's still averaging like 385, 390 yards a game on offense. The Giants are going to have a hard time matching that, especially if they can't prevent them from getting in the end zone. It's going to be so crucial for the Giants. They're going to have a bend and don't break defense. The Giants this weekend. This is the weekend to do it. It's just that three-headed monster they got is just. I was kind of thinking that the year we took Banks, Smith and Jigba might fall to us because you're looking at the teams in front of you. And it's like, Seattle, they got Lockett and they got Metcalf. They don't need a wide receiver, right? So one of those guys will fall. No, nope. So, but I said Charbonnet's averaging 5.7 yards a carry. It just, their defense has some issues to it. But they got a lot of guys on the injury list. A lot of guys. Boop. All right. So.